enthusiasts, and this is looking today at this instrument, or this type of instrument. It is of course the baritone ukulele. I have a lot of fun with this instrument as well as with the concert size, and so really going into, for those who've never had one before, what it is, what the tuning is, etc, etc. And then again, for those who've owned a baritone for a couple of years or so, I've got one or two little tricks and things when it comes to transposition of tuning. So why would you need to know that? Well, of course, the regular ukulele, which is the one that's over here, is this one, GCEA. And if I was to play just 4 chords like this, 3 chords, okay, so that would be C, of course, as we know it, because the tuning's GCEA. However, if I was to pick up the baritone, I was to play those same shapes, it's a lot deeper, so obviously the tone's different. And so what are the tunings of these strings then? So as you know, you've got GCEA in the concert and soprano size. This one is basically the first 4 strings of a guitar. So what we have here is D, G, B and E. So D, G, B, E. If it was a guitar, the 2 bass strings on top of that would be E, A. So a guitar is E, A, D, G, B, E. So we just got that, like the first 4 strings. Now the great news is if you've had a concert size or GCEA tuned uke before, you'll know all these shapes. Now all the shapes can transfer over, no problem. The problem is, of course, with the different tuning, they're going to all have different names. Now one of the issues with that is then you have to learn how to what's called transpose. Now that isn't too difficult, but if it's a little bit beyond you at the moment, I've created a cheat sheet, because we all like cheats, don't we? Yeah! Okay, so here is my little cheat sheet. And basically on there, you can download this, by the way, for free. There's a little link below. So what we've got is, starting from the left-hand side, is looking at sort of majors. So we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Then, of course, you go back up to the top for the C. But what I've done, basically, is shown you on the left-hand side how to play a C in GCEA, which, of course, you know, and how you would play that C then on the baritone. Yeah, so let's have a quick go at a couple of them, just while I've got it in front of me then. Okay, here we go. So just put that one down. A little bit of uke changing in this video, sorry. So here we go. So our regular C in GCEA, probably the first chord you ever learned. Okay, so that's C in GCEA tuning. However, if I want to play a C on here, on the baritone, I have to do this, which again is the shape you should know, which is the shape of F. Now playing the shape of F in DGBE tuning, it becomes a C. By the way, if you played guitar before, you'd have an extra finger somewhere around there on the bass strings of the guitar, but on the baritone uke, that's where it is. So yes, we've gone from C going all the way through to C again, but what happens if you're moving from major chords to 7th chords? So let's try that. So here we go. So if I'm going to play a C7, okay, and then swap over to the baritone, our C7 sounds like this. Okay, so we've got a C and these extra fingers on, and all this is down on the sheet, which you should have in front of you if you haven't printed it off for free. Okay, the next one I'd like to look at, the next column, is minors. So just showing you the sheet again, we've got, where are we? Hang on, we've got majors, we've got dominant 7ths, and now we're going to go over to minors. Okay, so a C minor, so let's stay with C, make it easy for now. There is our C minor. Okay, so a C minor, however, on the baritone would look like this. You see that? Okay, so it's basically an F minor in the GCEA tuning. So you'll find a lot of the chord shapes you already know, but you've got to just learn the different names, and this sheet is there to help you. So as I say, we've got majors, we've got dominant sevenths, and we've also got minors as well. Now I fully appreciate there are different chords as well, but this should get you started. Let's just pick another one, and something where I can highlight why some of the boxes are in green. I'll just show you that before I start off. So if we look here, notice some of the sort of aqua greeny, bluey sort of, whatever you want to call it, colour is there. The reason for that is the majority of these I've actually written with a box with 3 frets, okay? But sometimes those chords go beyond the 3 frets and just require a 4th fret, okay? So it's basically just drawing your attention to the fact that this actually is spanned over 4 frets and not 3 frets, which these are here, okay? Just to draw your attention to it, that's all. All right, so let's pick another one. Let's go for, I don't know, the chord G. Let's do G. So G on our GCA tuning basically sounds like so. Okay, and the G on the baritone would sound like this. So that's the C shape on the GCEA tuning. In this tuning, that actually becomes a G major. Let's go through our sevenths then. Let's do a G7. So G7 on our GCEA tuning. Okay, and G7 on our baritone would be. And quickly just over to the minor. So the minor on our GCEA tuning. And on the baritone. Now I must point something out here. For those that are sort of got really good hearing, you will notice that this string, the D, I've actually tuned it to re-entrant, which you can do just like on a regular GCEA ukulele. So instead of having high and low G, on a baritone you can also have a high and low D. Now I've chosen to have the high because I find having these two close together, it's easier for playing melody, which is what I like to do. For example, just to go off at a slight tangent, if I'm playing a jazz piece like Satin Doll, for example, the melody goes. But if I bring in the 1 and 4 strings, I get this lovely. And it's very hard to reproduce that if this is the octave lower. So that's my choice. You may choose to have the low D on here instead of the high D. It's completely up to you. One more then before we go. Let's pick, where are we? F. Let's do F. So F. On this one. F on this one. Okay, let's go to F7 and F7. Good. Okay, and finally F minor. Okay, and F minor to finish off with on the baritone is there. Okay, so where would you use a baritone? Well, I think if you're playing with somebody else, this makes a really nice addition. So if you've got one or two ukuleles in the GCEA tuning plus one of these, it really adds a lot of depth to it. And you'd be surprised in a group where you have, say, 30 people on a GCEA and 2 or 3 people on a baritone, what a difference it makes to the sound. It sounds really, really good, really professional and really full. Okay, so there is definitely a place for a baritone ukulele. And also for people who've played guitar before, and for their very first ukulele, if they're used to the span of the frets of a guitar, the span here is very, very similar to what you would actually find on your regular guitar. So it's very easy to transition from your guitar to a baritone than it would be from a guitar to a concert or a soprano, because the frets are that much close together. Not impossible, but it's easier to transition from guitar straight to here. So I hope you found that useful. I do enjoy playing baritone when I'm accompanying people, as I say, because it makes the sound nice and full. And I hope you've enjoyed my little introduction to the baritone and the tuning and the transposition. So any questions at all, there is a comment box at the bottom. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. So until the next time, you'll take care. Yo!